Alexa, stop.
Booyah.
It must be Friday. A very, very good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where in the world you are, to Tony Prodger and Ellie and Jerome and Rob Forsyth, who's logged in from his classic microcomputers account. Watched Rob's latest video the other day. Never thought I would spend time watching a man scrub with a cleaning agent and actually go, I'm enjoying this. But I did. We have got one or two questions in, thankfully, but we could do with more. I must say, as I was watching Rob scrub some vinyl, and for perspective, those that haven't seen it, this is a cover for a classic computer. I won't go into any more detail than that. You can go through the video. But it did occur to me, I wonder, are there companies that do custom vinyl covers and can make them look classic and original? I mean, that would be a heck of a business. There must be a market for repros of that kind of thing, because those things never survive. And yet the retro computer community now really want to take care of this old equipment.
Right.
And what a great way of doing it. I don't know, it just started, my brain started. See, this is the thing, I watched a video unrelated to anything I'm particularly doing, and I have 101 business ideas of it. God, when someone's doing that, and if you were, how you could do it, and you could probably do it automated and have it, to go on Etsy that does it. Yeah, awesome. But, then my mind starts going, how could I outsource that? Because I wouldn't want to do it. And then I just have to bring myself back to reality and go, I ain't got time to take on another project. What am I even thinking of? But, there are ideas out there all the time. And if it's something you got passion for. Anyway,
exactly.
That was a lot of pre-talk before the show, wasn't it? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good night. And
Katanga
Society 11. Good to be here on a Friday. Chad Elder there. Hello. Still trying to get used to the idea of it being on YouTube. Yes. Some good news though. I know that one or two of you were concerned when we were talking on Wednesday about different ways of going, don't make it too complicated. And I said, no, we can't. And we did have a chat afterwards, and we have found a solution. We have found that there is a setting in YouTube which enables us to schedule go live as an unlisted video that we can give you all the link to, and that if you're subscribed to the channel, it won't notify you. Yes. So being subscribed doesn't help. So we've now got that in place. We've worked.
That is theft.
So there's and it means that there won't be anything significant that you guys have to do. We can always drop a reminder of the lives in the Facebook group if that helps, and maybe the link that day. And other than that, you can find it in the little app thing, which you don't have to download an app. You can view online. So, but there you go. Good to see so many of you here. Hope you've had a fantastic week. I've actually had a chunk of my time this week had to be taken out going and visiting relatives and things like that. But it was beautiful weather and I enjoyed doing it.
One of the other advantages of YouTube is, since we schedule these a little bit earlier, you can go to the YouTube link and type in your question, and we will see it ahead of time, which we can do a little bit of prep on.
Always helps to eat and prep, especially if
we were never able to do that with Facebook.
the amount of time the questions are things like, what do you think of XYZ product? And the truth is, if I've not looked at it, I can't give an opinion on a product.
Right.
And I can't, I can just load up the page and go, it looks shit or it looks good, but that's not really helping anyone. Whereas
Right,
if I
exactly.
at least if we knew just 30 minutes ahead, I want you to comment on this particular thing, we can go and do a little bit. You'd be surprised how much digging we can do in 30 minutes. We're very good at researching and looking behind the scenes and finding out what's going on. So Chad says, did Kurt lose some weight or does he look thinner on YouTube? I think he has actually lost some weight.
A little bit.
But then, when you spend time dealing with meningitis and hospital visits and all that sort of thing,
but I get to drink all the coffee I want.
Yeah, that's a big secret actually to weight loss. Drink more coffee and eat less.
That's it. That is it.
So we have got a question or two, I believe, but I think we're going to wait until the moneymakers have got. Let's say goodbye.
Well, the first one we could probably, because it's a common question, and I think value from it.
Go on.
The very first question. Let me pull it up real quick, or as quick as I'm able to, because I'm kind of stupid today. The question was from Tony. Here's something that's puzzled me. What is the purpose of a child theme in WordPress, and is using one an advantage or disadvantage if you want to switch to a different theme at some point? Will you lose the child theme that you created, or can you keep it and just move it to a different theme?
Child themes normally hook into a specific theme and are manipulating things to do with that specific main theme. Right. So if you're reliant on a child theme and you change your main theme, and this is the other thing with child and whatever, we'll get in a minute to, is there even an advantage? I've never found one for me for anything that I've done. Do I know people that have? Yes. I think people doing multi-site stuff for SEO and something else, some of them are using it and talk about it. Right. I've never found a need for it in the type of sites I build. So I haven't really gone there. I did at one point use some tool builder thing that what it did, it let you put anything where you like, but it turned it into a child theme is what it did. And it was a pain in the ass because when they stopped updating their master theme and the builder, it just became unusable and I had to rebuild the whole site from scratch. So, I've never personally found a use, but then I'm not a WordPress expert. In fact, I'm not a WordPress fan, as you know. I think WordPress is good for one thing, running a blog. That is about it. If you avoid anything else on it, all the better. As much as you can do that isn't WordPress, it will run faster, load faster, and will be more SEO friendly, in my opinion, if you're going for SEO.
Elementor is a theme, and you build out your child themes utilizing Elementor's building process. And you can buy other child themes that people have created for Elementor and install that as well. What it does is just stops you from having to edit the code on the main theme. That's all it's for. When you're building a child theme, that's exactly, you're building the functionality that's included with the theme into another page layout. We'll just call it that way.
For me, I've either taken a theme that somebody else has built, and if it hasn't done what I've wanted, I have either gone in and butchered the code myself because I know enough, or outsourced, got somebody to do it for me, handed it to the developer and said, look, can you take that, but just change all the color scheme and the buttons to this and this to this? And what, I did pop that up. So that's how I would normally. Plus, where I do a theme, on the odd occasion I use a theme now, I built it myself using NicePage, and I can keep it up to date and I can make what changes I want.
Right, exactly.
And then, so that's my preferred way. Here's my whole preferred way. If I'm using WordPress at all for anything, I want as few plugins, as few theme things, as few add-ons, as few extras, because everything you put on top adds to the load time and the speed and everything else and the processing. And also a lot of themes that are sold are not sold by development companies or people that come from a development background. They're sold by chancers who use tools like Artezero and Nightspace to build things. I've done it before I really knew how to do things. I was pumping things out. Were they any good? Well, they looked okay, but long-term maintenance on them, I don't know. Probably not, but that's the thing. You don't really always know what you're getting. If it's a really big organization or a really big thing like Elementor, and you're going to base your whole business on it, like I know some people do, and you're going all in on it, then an Elementor recommends you use child things for X, Y, and Z, then follow their instructions would be my advice. But I personally I don't think it's one of those things you look at and go, oh, how can I use it? It's more one of those things where it is. And if you ever get a case where it could be used, you'll remember and go, oh, child themes can do that. But I've never had a need for them myself personally. But I'm not typical. No, there's no such thing as a typical web builder or web user these days.
No, there's no such thing.
Their personal preferences, and that's about it.
Exactly.
So I prefer the less approach, because the less plugins, the less things, the less child things, the less there is to go wrong. Simple as that. I like keeping things so that they hopefully are going to work for a long time, even if I'm not in a position to be able to update them.
Oh, exactly. One of the things that, well, you know what? I think it's time.
It is time. It is time. I'm poised over the button. I'm poised, waiting.
Let's give them we have to give them a proper send off.
Okay.
See ya.